any other champion in the game. I know that my ball lane will win at 6 when they play this champion, so it
Hmm.
helps me make other plays. And then usually when you know what your teammates wanna do or can do with their champions, it also helps you make plans.
This is Azento from Esports Heaven, and I have here with me Nisqy from Cloud9, victorious over Team Liquid, probably the most anticipated match of this week. Now, I want to ask about the beginning of the game to where you guys dived the top lane. So, what was going on with that dive? Just kind of break that down with me because it seemed like Blabber got a little bit of Lee syndrome in there.
Um, I mean, basically they were doing drift, and then I said that if I hit bubble, we should commit. And I think at the end that was the wrong decision because we should have just taken drift when I hit the bubble. Um, but yeah, it was a banger of a fight. I think we misplayed it, like everyone misplayed it, I think. And then we just chased into the tower, and then at that point, I think it was just really hard to win. So,
Uh-huh. So, before the match even happened, there was that hype promo video. Shout out to Riot. That was pretty
mhm.
dope. Between you and Jensen, and I like the contrast because you both kind of had different viewpoints of how you were going to win the game. You were talking about how your team would just kind of carry you, right? And then Jensen was like, "No, I'm just gonna beat him, because I'm the better mid laner." So, do you think that is a fundamental style in like a difference in style when it comes to you and Jensen, that maybe he plays more for the lane and you play more for like this team aspect?
I mean, I think that's necessarily true. I just think the champions you play usually have different play styles. For example, he said that, but he picked TF, which is not really like a lane bully or anything.
Yeah.
So I think he just meant. I'm not necessarily sure what he meant. I think he just means that he carries more than I do, or that he has to carry more than I do, maybe. And he tried to show it today, I guess. But at the end, as I said in the interview, my team is just better, and I will make the good decisions about around my team and not necessarily to win lane only. So I think
Uh-huh.
that's the difference where he maybe takes more, how can I say, he maybe takes like less risks to help his other lanes and stuff rather than me, for example, when I give up waves and I move. For him, it's mostly just farming a lot and then carrying team fights. But he played TF today, so that was way different than what I expected from him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what he was meaning with that.
So I like to think that mid lane is the most influential role in the game, and so when contrasting both of your guys' styles, which as I was alluding to before, of Jensen playing for his lane and you playing for the team in a roaming style in a sense, uh, how do you feel about that in terms of like your, I guess, responsibility to carry? Do you feel very comfortable with your squad now in terms of letting other people actually, be the carry player or be the star player versus maybe you trying to carry from lane?
I mean, I think my playstyle switched a lot because one, my team got way better, I think, than last year. Where I think last year, if me and Svenskeren and Licorice weren't kind of, actually, I think it's like mostly me and Svenskeren, where if we didn't carry the game through mid jungle,
Mm-hmm.
we could not win any games. That was
Mm.
just a reality. And yeah, right now I feel like everyone can carry in our team. Like even I can also play the Orianas, the Azir, the carry mages, but I feel like I don't need to do it right now because my team is just really good when I give them either resources or if I just pick champions that push mid so that they can fight 24/7, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Also, like for example, drafting, I don't need to 1, 2, 3 my mid. I don't care if they pinch me in 4, 5 because I have so many picks. And yeah, also I think my synergy with Blabber is just really good, so that makes it way easier for me to play the game as well because I know where Emily Jungler is. I know Blabber will be there when if I need him, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
just my team is just way better, so I just abuse it right now. Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing to abuse, especially with your jungler kind of popping off. Now, as far as the draft is concerned, so Aphelios wasn't banned or picked. I'm just gonna say, the broadcast said that your academy bot laner Tomo had a counter pick of Cassiopeia into that pick. Now, I'm not gonna, have you divulge about what was going on in the draft for that, but I do want to talk about how effective is it scrimming against your academy team and learning from them and kind of sharing strategies and just kind of collaborating together?
I think it's only good when we need to try matchups, which we don't want other teams to know.
Mm-hmm.
There are some picks which I'm not gonna reveal, but there's some picks that we play only against them, so that we know if it's good or not, or if even if it looks good, for example, then usually they don't play it against other teams as well, or else people will copy it, right?
Yeah.
But I think when we scrim them, it's mostly improving their side where they know how we play,
Mm-hmm.
so they can kind of counter us, I guess. Where, for example, you know that we invade a lot, and our academy team usually always defends or invades, And I feel like sometimes they do some really good stuff, and then we're like, okay, if a team actually does this, then it might be bad for us, right?
Okay.
But I think it's mostly a learning experience for them, which is really nice, I think. Um, so yeah, I think it's better for them than for us, but I don't really mind that.
So let's talk a little bit about scrim etiquette because this has been something that I had talked with a previous team way back. I believe I had an interview with an Echo Fox player talking about scrim etiquette and how they couldn't get scrims because they were a bottom team. And so, as being a top team for quite a while now, I guess, how is it with scrim etiquette in terms of, do you have the kind of pick of the litter when it comes to when you want to set scrims at what time? You could set it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You want to wake up late or something. Like how is it as far as being the top team and maybe everyone wanting to scrim you all the time?
I mean, we don't really do that where we like change the timing or when we start stuff like that. At the
Mm-hmm.
end, there is a planning, and we just follow it no matter what. Even if we're a bottom team, a top team, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the same timings, I guess. But one thing that we can do, or that we do actually, is we don't scrim certain teams because we think it's just useless, for example,
Mm.
because we will win no matter what we play, or they're
Mm-hmm.
taking 40 minutes in review.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a waste of time.
Mm.
And yeah, that's basically it, I think. Also, like for example, we scrim usually TL the most, I think, because they're the only team that actually challenges us in scrims.
Oh,
So
okay. So as far as maybe someone inting in lane at the very beginning of the game, or players kind of just going too hard in terms of maybe what they wouldn't do in a normal LCS game. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that is a problem within North America? Does it even happen in scrims? Like, what's your take on this whole aspect of playing more aggressive in scrims versus on stage games?
um, I think there's other teams that play like that. I won't necessarily name one, but I know that there's a team that just plays over aggressive in scrims, and they take fights that they have like 20% of winning, and then if they win the fight, then good for them. If they
Uh-huh.
don't, then game is just over. But
Uh,
when you see them play on stage, it's like they all play safe, they don't make any plays, and then they just lose because they just don't know how to play the game because they just fight 24/7 scrims, right?
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it happens for some teams. It also happens to us a bit where we usually overfight a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we actually lose some scrums as well.
Mm.
And yeah, I think limit testing is good, but if you do it every game, then it's just at the end you don't even play League of Legends, you just play solo queue. So
Okay. Yeah, I like your comparison for solo queue versus scrims because generally, what I would think at least is that testing at least your lane limits is within solo queue versus scrims is more about objective control or team coordination and whatnot. I like that kind of comparison. So your team is incredibly good at objective control. I mean, generally, like, why do you think that is? And before that, I compare the new C9 to the old C9 in some respect, that you guys seemingly go in at the drop of a hat. Like, I mean, immediately you hear a call and it's 100%. Everyone is on that. Kind of like when High was the shot caller for Cloud9 way back. Are you guys all in on, the calls that get made by someone kind of in the heat of the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that this team has that either most teams doesn't have or that we didn't have last year specifically is everyone really trusts each other and everyone knows what lane matchup they want to play, what their champions want to do. For example, right now, even if I don't play jungle, I know what Path Blabber will do 24/7. I know what he
Ah.
wants to do with his champion. He knows what I want to do when I play Galio or Zoe or any other champion in the game. I know that my ball lane will win at 6 when they play this champion, so it
Mm-hmm.
helps me make other plays. And then usually when you know what your teammates want to do or can do with their champions, it also helps you make plans in
Ah.
advance where if Casio Thresh hits level 6, for example, and I'm level 6 on Zoe, and I have like a summoner spell, then we know that every fight we have should be a win at that point against
Mm.
their enemy comps, for example. So yeah, just everyone knowing each other so well and everyone trusting each other, I think, is really important for us, and that's why we're so good, in my opinion, as well.
Okay. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck in your future games, especially going into, the rest of this week. So this has been a Zento from Esports Heaven and Nisqy from Cloud9. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.